Welcome back. Summer is here, and that has a lot of us thinking about shedding a few pounds to fit into the dreaded swimsuit. To help us do that, I'm joined by a very special guest this morning. Dr. Michael Lyon is considered a leading expert on appetite control. He's co-authored a new book called Hunger Free Forever, and it's all about getting healthy and staying slim without starving yourself. Welcome. And tell me about this new book. This is a long project in the making.
Well, in a sense, it's kind of my lifelong project because I was born an obese child to a diabetic mother and grew up as the only obese child in my school. So I struggled with my weight throughout my childhood, and then as a teenager I decided I just was fed up with being the one kid that was always kicked around and couldn't do any sports, and I started to really make changes to my own lifestyle. By the time I was 17, I had shed the weight and was quite athletic, and decided at that point that I was going to dedicate my life to helping other people in the same boat. So now that I'm close to 50, it's been my been my career basically, helping people turn their lives around with with problems like obesity and addictions and so on.
And you really are doing that. Your team has developed something very unique about appetite control involving blood sugar levels. Can you explain more about that?
Yeah, we were the first center, our research center affiliated with UBC in Vancouver, was the first center in the world to use a new technology called continuous glucose monitoring. It's a little portable electronic device about the size of your thumbnail that you put usually on the back of the arm or on the abdomen, and the people wear that, and it measures their blood sugar around the clock. And with this, we were able to show that people that are not diabetic but just overweight and obese typically have blood sugar that goes up and down literally like a roller coaster all day long. And we compared that to people with normal weight, and their blood sugar is typically almost flat. It's a very boring looking line throughout the day. People with weight problems, blood sugar roller coaster, normal weight like this. We were able to show that the increase in appetite that people have when they're overweight or obese has a great deal to do with these blood sugar rises, and especially the falls. Every time blood sugar falls, your brain gets worried and it triggers a feeling that it's time to eat, which could be dozens of times a day in people with weight problems. So to lose weight with this blood sugar roller coaster, it's literally like fighting against your own brain. And so what we did was we dedicated ourselves to finding ways of stabilizing that blood sugar to see if that might relieve people from this constant pressure to eat. And indeed, we were able to find a way to stabilize blood sugar, and that did correlate with a dramatic reduction in appetite.
How did you stabilize it?
By using a discovery from University of Toronto. It's a natural polysaccharide complex called PGX. This is something that can be taken before a meal, can be sprinkled onto food or put into a beverage or taken in a capsule. People take this before each meal, and we've found that within a few days to a couple of weeks, the blood sugar roller coaster turned into a blood sugar, you might say, highway. And with that stabilization in blood sugar came a very dramatic reduction in appetite. So we were seeing people by the hundreds who had never been able to successfully lose weight, and especially lose weight and keep it off, being able to lose weight without almost any effort, certainly with no pain, and then being able to keep it off long term. So we now see this as a revolutionary discovery in terms of not only weight loss, but also in preventing the onset of type 2 diabetes. There's a major effort now looking at this as a way to reduce the risk of diabetes down the road.
And you've brought some proof, some pictures of actual clients that have gone through the program and seen these amazing results.
Sure. Yeah, one picture that you'll see on the screen is a fellow who, this is what he looked like before he came in, and when he was hooked up to the blood sugar monitor, his blood sugar was literally like a roller coaster, up and down, up and down, up and down. And this is a poor fellow who just, every half hour or so he drank a can of pop, or he had to have a snack, or he had to pull up to the drive-through window, and he didn't really want to participate in our weight loss program, but his wife came along and she wanted to do it, so he kind of said, yeah, well, I'll go along with it. He started taking PGX. Within a few days, his blood sugar started to stabilize, and he started to lose the food cravings and the sweet tooth, the desire to go to the drive-through window, and the weight just started melting off. And within, the picture there was 12 weeks later, he lost
12 weeks.
Yeah, phenomenal amount of weight and didn't lose any muscle. We measured body composition looking to make sure people aren't losing muscle.
Right.
And he was a good example of how dramatically the effect is when you can stabilize that blood sugar.
Now, people are going to look at that picture, hear you talking about PGX, and wonder, is this available to people? Is it safe to take, even if you're not, excessively overweight?
The key is that PGX is like a super fiber. Okay. Taking 5 grams of PGX 3 times a day is like adding 75 grams of fiber to your diet in terms of what it does to your body.
Right.
If you're a really heavy person with a really big appetite, 5 grams of PGX 3 times a day would be a typical dose. But for someone who's, slight or doesn't have a really big appetite, maybe nibbles a little bit or has a bit of a sweet tooth or feels a little shaky between meals, a smaller dose, maybe a couple of the capsules, half of a scoop of the PGX powder or whatever with each meal would be certainly enough. So you have to sort of adjust the dosage depending on your situation.
And it is available in health food stores?
It's in health food stores everywhere now, yeah.
Is PGX the key, or are there other things that you have to do in conjunction with taking?
Well, at our center, we put on like a school of weight loss where we teach people things from every angle to help them lose weight and keep it off. So the starting point is PGX with every meal. That helps to stabilize blood sugar. Then in the book we teach people not a specific diet, like the 40-30-30 plan or something like that, right, the magic diet. Instead, we teach people strategies of how to eat to obtain a feeling of satiety or satisfaction so that you don't feel hungry much at all. It's okay to feel a little hungry before each meal, but you never want to sit down to the table and feel like a ravenous wolf and then just, wolf down your food, or get into a restaurant and pick the highest calorie meal because it smells so good and your appetite's just raging.
What do you do to avoid that, though?
Well, again, the book is called Hunger Free Forever because the key is to getting that hunger tamed. Taming the appetite monster is what we say. Mm-hmm. If you can tame that appetite monster, then you can start to make sensible choices about what kind of food you're going to eat, what portion sizes you're going to consume, how quickly you're going to eat, and so on. Those are the keys. If you can reduce your portion sizes, make wiser food choices, eat more slowly and savor every bite, you're going to lose weight and keep it off. But people can't do that if they're just relying on their willpower because their brain is working against them. We get people's brain back on their side, and when your brain is working with you, weight loss is certainly comfortable, and in most cases it's virtually effortless.
And PGX is one of the keys to that.
One of the major keys, yes.
Thank you very much. Very interesting information. Again, the book is called Hunger Free Forever, available in most bookstores. There's also a website, right?
Yes, hungerfreeforever.com.
And we'll have a link to that on our website. Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay.
And stay with us. There's much more Good Morning Canada still to come.